So today we got a question from Bob, and Bob wants to know about my belt promotion system and kind of has an interesting scenario, sort of hypothetical situation as far as getting a belt promotion. So let's get into it. So basically his thought is that he's heard a lot of people talk about in videos and things like that, that they promote people differently based upon their baseline skills. So for instance, let's say if you had a 60-year-old come in, you would judge that 60-year-old versus the 21-year-old athletic guy differently because of their baseline, and you would promote them slightly differently depending on where they're at. So they may not be the equal skill when they get promoted to blue belt. It'll be more of a comparison about where they started. But then he goes on to ask us sort of a hypothetical situation. He says, let's say a fresh white belt comes into the gym with experience in something like wrestling or judo. Would that be considered their baseline in jiu-jitsu and require more time to earn a promotion because they may have potential to achieve more in their white belt phase compared to someone with no grappling experience? Or would a person like this gain a promotion faster if they grasp and demonstrate certain concepts quicker due to prior experience? Obviously, your promotion system may be way different from others, but I'm just looking for perspectives. So, brother, thank you for the question, Bob. And I'll give you some ideas on my belt promotion stuff, but let me give you a hypothetical, well, not actually, this isn't a hypothetical situation. This is a situation that actually happened in my gym over the course of different times because these two people I'm going to talk about, they trained at different times. But it's a great comparison since you asked about prior wrestling experience, especially with grappling and or wrestling and judo. Here's a good example. So I had these two college wrestlers in my gym over the course of different time periods. Both were friggin' monsters of men. Both were tough as can be. And we'll talk about wrestler A real quick. So college wrestler A comes in. A monster. Pile driving people through the mat. I watched him work black belts with top position takedowns and things like that. Super tough. Learned how to guard pass. Learned how to do side control submissions. Things like that. Was doing very well. But wrestler A was very resistant to learning anything from off his back, anything from guard, and if he got put on his back, he was a turtle in the sun. He was cooked. He was done. That was it, right? No more. No mas. And so I kept telling him, you need to work from your back. You need to get better at jiu-jitsu. You're good at the top jiu-jitsu, but I need to see you do something off your back. Because again, jiu-jitsu in my eyes, like one of the big components that differentiates it from other martial arts is this ability to fight off your back. Most grappling arts, there's a pinning thing going on, right? Like in judo and wrestling both, I can pin you and that's it. Jiu-jitsu, pin me means nothing. It's just the start of the match. I can escape and choke you. It's all about the submission. So I need to see you off your back. He was super resistant to it, and he never got promoted to blue belt. And he eventually left because of work and stuff like that. Great guy though. Love him to death. Just, again, he wasn't willing to get to that point. Now, again, as far as a training partner and pushing people, he was great. He just was so resistant to that aspect, I couldn't promote him to blue belt, right? Flip that around to another blue belt, or he's a blue belt now, but a white belt that came in that was a wrestler B. Wrestler B comes in, collegiate background, very good collegiate background, really tough, and comes in very much the same thing, monster of a guy, pile driving people in the mat with takedowns, top position came naturally, guard passing came naturally. But here's the difference with him. He started getting into jiu-jitsu and quickly started learning how to use the guard. He started playing off of his back, started going for sweeps and stuff like that, started learning how to do leg locks, and started to work on as many aspects as he could. And he got much better really fast. He was already such a skilled grappler that when he wanted to apply himself and learn a technique, it didn't take a lot for him to be able to do that because he was already so in tune with his body, he could make it happen. And I promoted him to blue belt within about a year. Now, he competed a bunch before then, and I had him compete at blue belt tournaments because I didn't think it would be fair to have a 4-year college or a 3-year college wrestler compete as a white belt, right? I didn't think it was fair, so I made him compete at blue belt tournaments starting off. But in the gym, he was a white belt. And it took him a little over a year to get that white belt or that blue belt because I wanted to make sure he got better at the guard, right? Get better on the bottom because top game's already amazing. I wanted to see the bottom game though. And I also wanted to get to know who he was. And so that's an example. For me, if you're asking me about my belt promotion, I would obviously promote someone because there's a standard. It's not just about the baseline. There is a part of that. I'll talk about that in a second. But it's about the standard that I have for the gym, right? And so if they meet that standard and they're able to hang with my blue belts and they're good from all these different positions and they know this basic knowledge, well then yeah, I'm going to promote them. It's cool. I'm happy. They're going to get promoted faster because their baseline is there. And again, I'm still going to hold them a little while. So even if a person came in with some previous experience and they were already there, I'm going to hold them for a little bit because I want to get to know that person. Because for me, my belt promotion system, which is always being tweaked and changed and stuff like that, I got to know that who this person is before I promote them a little bit, right? I have to have an idea who they are before I give them the belt promotion. For me, with my belt promotion system, since you kind of talked about it in the question that you sent me, which was a little bit longer than what I read, I'm trying to find this balance between like this old school system that a lot of us were brought up with, where it's very subjective. It's very like you can't quite touch it or feel it. And it's like about showing up and training and doing the thing. And then the belt promotions come, versus what some gyms do now, where it's like you get this little time card that you put in and you get your little hours, and at a certain amount of hours you can do a test and you get your stripes. And it's very regimented, like some traditional martial arts, right? Where you get your little tests and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me as a person, one of the most valuable lessons that I've ever been given through martial arts and grappling, both wrestling gave me this, and then jiu-jitsu, the way that I learned it, gave me this, which was you do something for just doing it. You try to improve. Like if you're going to do something, you do it because you want to be good at it. You do it for the sake of doing it better. That's it, right? I don't need to have a reason. Like if I'm going to do something, I got to do it the best that I can. That has to be it. Like that has to be the thing that I'm going to chase for. It's not because I'm going to get a stripe. It's not because I'm going to put my hourly time card or whatever in. It's because if I'm going to do something, I want to be good at it. And I'll let the sort of rewards and the gifts come to me from doing the best damn job I can do, whether this is grappling or anything else I do in life. And that ability to do something for something's sake without any sort of reward coming to me from anyone else it's amazing. It's liberating, because then you're not chasing any external, like here's your your pat on the back, or here's a reward for it. You do it because you want to do it. And those things have been incredibly helpful for me with like jiu-jitsu, building a business, lots of other stuff, right? And so I like that, and I want people to get that in our gym, right? On the flip side, I know that like tangible, linear sort of goals can be very useful, and even sometimes they can be a good means to a particular end. And so trying to find a blend between those two, and I'm still tweaking it, still trying to figure that out, in which a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms all have different promotion systems. But yeah, again, that's the idea. But anyway, to answer your question, to finish this off, if I had people coming in with previous experience, they are going to get promoted faster because they're probably going to nail down those concepts faster than someone with no experience. But just wanted to sort of include a little bit about my belt promotion system, my idea on it. And Bob, thank you for the question. I'll talk to you guys next time.